Right now, let's go live to CP24's Beatrice Vaisman, who's at Toronto Police Headquarters. She'll be joined by CP24's crime analyst Steve Ryan. B.
Bakari, Arda, police today talking about the fact that they believe they've dismantled an organized criminal network operating in the tow truck industry. It really is a turf war. Police arguing that some of this violence happened. Some of these members of this group called the Union were trying to gain control, police say, of the tow truck industry. 20 people arrested, 111 charges, including 52 charges of conspiracy to commit murder. Police also sharing some videos today that they believe connected to this group, including the videos we're showing you on your screen, one in Whitby, one in Toronto in the city's east end. In one case, someone throwing a Molotov cocktail at someone who was also part of the tow truck industry. Another one showing a tow truck being torched, set on fire. And really, police believe, and these are not the words they use, but that they've got essentially the head of the snake here, the heads of this criminal organization. We also know, according to court documents obtained by CP24, that police allege that some of those involved in this criminal network were planning on carrying out other attacks, according to these documents. 2 attacks at a bar in Pickering, 1 on a bar in Scarborough. The chief today saying that, mass attacks have been thwarted because of this police investigation that also included wiretapping. Here's what we heard from the chief superintendent, Joe Matthews, when I asked him specifically related to the Piper Arms shooting 2 weeks ago. We heard at the time those were hired guns. So I asked today, are these the people that hired the guns? Here's his answer.
The information that we have from our investigation that I can speak on is that we are at the upper echelon. We are with the group that was organizing and hiring the acts of violence. And it's quite telling that none of them have criminal records or are before the courts because they are the higher level. This is why we have a specialized unit with the Toronto Police Service in our major project section that go after this very group. And the way that we go after them is through wiretap investigations, where we get the conversations about the planning and the organizing of these violent acts.
Bring in our crime analyst, Steve Ryan, who's with me here at police headquarters. We heard there the chief superintendent say this is the upper echelon. None of them have criminal records because they were kind of the ones pulling the strings on the ground. How significant are these arrests, Steve?
Huge. When it comes to organized crime and when you make arrests, oftentimes you get the foot soldiers, you get the people at the bottom of that food chain. When you can get those in charge, it really makes it that much more effective. And in essence, what you do is you disrupt and you dismantle that entire organization because you've got those that typically are insulated from law enforcement. But in this particular case, with some great police work, they were able to get those at the top. So I think we will see a significant decrease in crime when it comes to the tow truck war that's going on here in the city.
How do you do that? In the Piper Arms case, police arrested the people they believe actually pulled the triggers. Now they're going after the upper echelon. So how do you go from those foot soldiers to actually getting the people who are calling the shots?
Well, during that press conference today, the police mentioned wiretaps. Wiretaps, and I don't like talking about wiretaps that often, as I said to you before, but wiretaps have a significant amount of power when it comes to listening to people's conversations. So when they arrested that group a few weeks back and said, we've got the hired guns, and it was you that asked who hired them, and the police did not want to say at the time. Most likely they were under some sort of surveillance, under a wiretap of some sort, and they were listening for that information. This is why we've got the announcements today with regards to all these arrests.
Confident are you, Steve, that these arrests are actually going to make a dent when it comes to the violence and the tow truck turf wars that we've been seeing in the city really since 2023, and they've only escalated since?
Yeah, great question. And since the police announced that they've got the ringleaders of this group, this organized crime group, I would suspect that we will see a decrease in the amount of tow truck turf wars going on out there because they didn't just get the foot soldiers, they got those at the top, those that are calling the shots. So I do believe that we will see a decrease in that sort of criminality.
Steve Ryan, thanks so much. We'll pick up this conversation again coming up at 5:30, Arda and Bakari, but for now, I'll send it back to you.
Okay, CP24's Beatrice Vaisman and crime analyst Steve Ryan continuing team coverage. Thank you.